fact news you can trust.
Today, January 21st, 2021, Joe Biden and I'll do anything to get a promotion Harris will be inaugurated as president and vice president of the United States. Now, we both know that these two individuals are frothing at the mouth with their attack on the Second Amendment. In fact, Kamala Harris made this statement.
Upon being elected, I will give the United States Congress 100 days to get their act together and have the courage to pass reasonable gun safety laws. And if they fail to do it, then I will take executive action. Now, according to an article by CBS News, as soon as Joe Biden becomes president, Kamala's going to push him down a flight of stairs. He's also going to order the FBI to study loopholes found in the current firearm background check system. His goal is to close these loopholes within the first 100 days of office. So, I started thinking to myself, what are the loopholes, right? What are the things that he's going to really try to go after? And how is he going to do it? Is he going to try to close these loopholes and impose strict gun control laws through executive action? Or is he going to try to pass it through Congress? So I took a look at his website to see what things on his website does he claim is a loophole. Now, first, we already know that one of his plans for his first 10 days in office is to eliminate gun manufacturers' liability protection from lawsuits. So this means that if scumbag criminal goes and buys a Colt AR-15, goes and shoots an innocent person, Colt can be held criminally liable because of a bad guy, a bad person, use that item inappropriately. This is kind of like if I'm drinking and driving and I get in a car accident and hurt your family. You would have a legal right to sue Chevy, the manufacturer of my truck. You would be allowed to sue Chevron, the gas station that I go to. You can sue Goodyear, the maker of the tires that I use in the car. This is absolutely ludicrous, but we expect nothing less. Now, on Joe Biden's website, he says that the federal background check system is one of the best tools we have to prevent gun violence, but it's only effective when it's used. Biden will enact universal background check legislation and close loopholes that allow people who should be prohibited from purchasing firearms from making those purchases. So the first loophole he wants to close is private firearm sales. He wants to immediately pass universal background checks, which also means we would have to have a firearm registration because there would be no way for them to track whether background checks are being completed or not unless there was a firearm registration. He also says that he wants to close the boyfriend loophole. Now, I actually had to look this up because I had really never heard of it before. It basically says that individuals who technically don't meet the definition of a domestic violence perpetrator, that is the loophole in his opinion. He also wants to reinstate the Obama-era ban that would prohibit certain people from possessing firearms who cannot manage their own affairs due to mental reasons. Now, this is something that President Trump reversed because it was disproportionately affecting military members who were suffering from PTSD. And what was happening is veterans, every veteran on here knows that we have a fear of talking about things. I never suffered from this, so this doesn't apply to me. Veterans have a fear of talking about PTSD or things that they've struggled with because they're afraid of losing their gun rights, because they're afraid that the VA is going to take their bank accounts away and deem them unfit to manage their own affairs. He also wants to close the hate crime loophole. Now, this is very shocking to me because what exactly is considered a hate crime today? If you say one thing, if you challenge any of these organizations or even try to hold them accountable for their actions, they immediately call you racist. They immediately saying that you are full of hate. So are they going to use things like that to try to say that we cannot own or possess guns? I don't know. He also wants to close the Charleston loophole. So the Charleston loophole allows people to complete a firearm purchase if their background check is not completed within 3 business days. Now, this is for situations where maybe the background check system is down and some of the technology or system is not working. Listen, man,
If you can't get my background check done because your server is not functioning properly, that is not my fault. I have a constitutional right to have these guns. And just because your system is garbage has nothing to do with me. He also wants to close the fugitive from justice loophole. Now, according to his website, he says because of the actions of the Trump administration, records of almost 500,000 fugitives from justice who are prohibited from purchasing firearms were deleted from the background check system. So the Biden administration would restore these names and prevent fugitives from justice from being removed in the future. Now, I don't know much about this, but obviously if Trump removed these names from being considered a fugitive from justice, there's probably a good reason. He also wants to end. Here's the big one. He also says that buying firearms and ammunition on the internet is a loophole. Now, we all know the gun control community loves to pretend that I can just order a gun on the internet and have it delivered to my house within an hour by Amazon or some nonsense. No background check, nothing. This is not the way it works. I buy guns on the internet all the time, and I have them delivered to my local gun store where I have to go complete the background check information, pay the transfer fee, and then take the gun home. So I'm not sure what he thinks he's closing, but this will not stop gun violence. This will not keep our communities safer. All it's going to do is restrict the rights of law-abiding, hardworking Americans from purchasing firearms in a very easy manner. But that's the goal. The goal is to make this process so complicated, so difficult that many gun owners are just going to give up. So, I am very curious at how long it is going to take for Joe and I'll do anything to get a promotion Harris to start passing executive orders to infringe on our rights. There's a big debate. Is it going to happen day one? Is it going to happen in the first 10 days? Is it going to be the first 100 or maybe the first year? We really don't know. But I think we do know they are going to come aggressively for our guns. They are aggressively attacking the Second Amendment like a sexual predator at a park. We have to stand up and defend our rights, because if we don't, it's going to be lost.